Yo, what is going on, guys? It's your boy AA on 220, and I'm bringing you guys, well, our third upload of the day, which is insanity because we usually barely upload once a day, let alone 3 times in today. You know, it's kind of wild, but yeah, we're gonna be starting daily content, I guess. If you're not on my Discord server, linked in the description below, you should probably join that because I tweet out like all my thumbnails, or at least not tweet. I'm used to tweeting. I post a lot of my thumbnails if I bulk thumbnails out like a couple days early so you guys can see them. If it's like same day as upload, I usually don't, but if it's if I finish them like a few hours early, I'll post them in there, or even like a few days early, so you can see that. You guys can see like what's planned. You guys can hear about like uploading and all that, I guess, or you just talk. We have finally people talking in there, so that's nice. But yeah, so here's our third upload of the day. I know you guys are probably sick of hearing my voice, but it's okay, I'm gonna upload anyway so I can be on time. We have week 3 of the Baby League versus Xilicks this week. Coach of the shit, I'm forgetting his team name again. Unlike, I literally cannot remember a team name to save my life. God damn it, I'm starting to realize that. But hold on, let me pull it up real quick. Point is though, is that we're here for week 3. Now, Xilicks' roster, I'll pull it up here while I pull up his team name. Anyway, it's the Detroit Torracats, okay. So, Xilicks' roster was a very, very interesting one. He had Staryu, Munchlax, Growlithe, Snivy, Scraggy, Flabebe, Honedge, Tyrant, Helioptile, and Cubone. So that made prepping very, very weird for his team. Mainly because, unlike a lot of people, he has a really fast water type, which is a little bit problematic for Torchic. Also, he has really solid ways around webs, being Snivy, which means that I can't set up webs either to help with the fast mons. So I sort of need to rely on Torchic either being boosted already, or I need to kill off the Snivy if it comes, and also the Staryu, because that's probably his best way to clear hazards. And once both of those are gone, which are both very, very scary mons to my team, then I should be fine. So my team this week, first up is Godbray, who ironically loses to both of those mons, but that's why we're starting with it. I have Stealth Rock, Earthquake, Rest, and Toxic with the Chesto Berry. Earthquake is really the only move I need offensively. Anything that's going to switch on this thing is going to get Toxic stalled and get fucked. Rocks are just nice for chip. Simple as that. Helps with his physical offense. Basically, everything that is not named... can't talk. Anything that's not named Staryu or Scraggy, this helps with. Snivy, this helps with. Next up, I have Sticky Boy, our Xilicks, with Dazzling Gleam, Endeavor, Sticky Web, and Flamethrower, with the Modest Nature, with the Citrus Berry and Burden, of course. Main reason being is I figured that Dazzling Gleam plus Flamethrower hits his team insanely well. Sticky Webs are nice if he doesn't bring the Snivy, or if Snivy dies, it helps drastically with this team. Really, the only thing it doesn't help with is like Munchlax or some shit like that. Next up, we got Little Borb, our Naughty Hustle Scarf Rufflet, with Aerial Ace, Return, Superpower, and Heat Wave. I brought Heat Wave this week as a way around like Honedge, for example, because Honedge would otherwise probably set out no matter what. I almost brought U-Shirt over it. Superpower, I was hoping to have not brought, but I really need it for the Munchlax, as my only other way to really break that would have been Brave Bird, but I'm not risking a miss. If I really just need a move that can guarantee hit, I'm gonna run out of this. So next up, we got Wong, our Metatite, with the Adamant Nature. I brought Drain Punch, Poison Jab, Sub, and Fire Punch. With webs up, this thing kind of plows through my opponent's roster. I really don't need any other moveset, as I don't believe he had a Psychic type, if I'm not mistaken. And his best switch into this would have been the Honedge, which is going to get fucked over by Fire Punch, or at least is going to take a lot of damage. Next up, we have Torchic Fillet, our Torchic, with the Naive Nature, with Speed Boost, of course, with Life Web, Protect, Low Kick, Hidden Power, I believe Grass again, and Heat Wave. Low Kick is mainly a way around the Munchlax, because everything else takes a lot from Heat Wave and HP Grass. I don't know why I brought Heat Wave. To be honest, I thought that was Fire Blast, but I guess I accidentally brought Heat Wave, god damn it. Good thing I did not need Torchic this game. God damn it, why did I bring Heat Wave? I'm just realizing this now, I look really stupid. Next up, we got Blub Blub, our Chinchou, pretty much the same set we always run. Only instead, we actually brought a different hidden power this time. Now, I'm kind of forgetting what hidden power I am, to be honest, but I can open it up real quick. But basically, let me move this over real quick. All I remember is that, yep, I'm gonna move that over too. Blub Blub basically was just, forgot, I gotta move over everything, god damn it. Let's see. Blub Blub, here we go. Oh, and this is our last one. It was HP Ground, okay. So no, it literally was the same spread we have been running every week. Blub Blub this week was mainly meant to KO things on switch-ins, such as the Snivy if it switches in. Also, Pivot, of course, is really nice with Volt Switch. I mean, really, this thing kind of hits through his team really fucking well. But of course, I've kind of played Acid Blub last week, so I'm hoping I don't play Acid Blub this week, because it can be very, very crucial to a win, I feel like. So yeah, that's our team for this week, and let's get right into the match. So as you can see here, my opponent brings the Staryu, Honedge, Tyrant, Cubone, Flabebe, and the Scraggy. A little bit different of a team than I thought, but it's, you know, it still seems pretty nice against what I brought. The only thing I probably wouldn't have brought was the Flabebe. It's not a bad answer for Metatite, but then again, as I said, I have Poison Jab, and the thing gets bopped by Poison Jab. So it probably would have been better if he brought the Snivy. As I said, Snivy was very, very scary to my team. Even though I have a Torchic, it still does a lot to my draft. And especially, it deters me from setting up webs, because if I set up webs and Snivy comes in, then Snivy is going to outspeed me even if I can get off Protect, and he's going to be able to kill me off. So yeah, that was a really, really questionable not bring by Xilicks. Everything else I kind of got. So yeah, overall though, let's get over it. I gotta click on the window, duh. Unprofessional as fuck. So let's get right into the actual game this week though. So I'm anticipating that he's going to lead off with the Tyrant. I figured that Tyrant was probably going to be his rocker this game. So I lead off with Godbray. I figured, you know, I could just Earthquake it, kill it off, and then set up my rocks. However, my opponent leads off with Staryu and decides he's just going to try and kill off whatever I lead with. So, you know, very, very smart play on my opponent's part. So I'm like, okay, you know, I really, really, really cannot stand. So I go into Blub, because, you know, Blub the goat, and it's really fucking cute and really squishy, but he predicts me. And he goes for the hidden power, I think grass. Point is, it's a hidden power that bops Blub. So now Blub is essentially useless for the entire rest of the game. And he knows I can't even like fake that I'm Scarf, because he saw my leftovers. So I'm just like, okay, I have to sack this. I don't have switch-ins to the Staryu. I should have brought an AVmon, but it's fine, We can work on it. It's Life Orb, so it's going to be taking damage. So I bring in little Borb here. I figured that, you know, maybe we can bulk a hit from this Staryu somehow and kill it off. And I decided here, actually, I'm going to double out into Godbray, predicting that he's going to switch. Because I'm hoping that he maybe thinks that I'm going to kill him off. And luckily he does. Luckily he does switch out. And he goes into Tyrant here, which is perfect. That was probably the ideal bring-in for me out of anything he could have brought in. And of course he's going for the Ice Fang. As you can see, that's doing a little bit of damage, but because of my defense boosts and the fact that I have stamina with rest as well, that's going to be very nice for me. And also I got off a Toxic here, which means that as I do go for rest, I'm just going to wear it down even more, and it's going to take a lot of damage. Also, it's going to break a Sash if he had Sash. If he was maybe like banded, that's a little bit different. But if he has a Sash, I'm breaking a Sash now. I don't anticipate he's going to have a Sash, because I felt like if he did, he would have set up a Dragon Dance, because if he got off a Dragon Dance, he could have broken this Mudbray really easily. So it's fine though. We have luckily been able to take on this Tyrant pretty well, and now we're going to get up rest. We are already up +2, and that means that we are just going to start chewing hits from this Tyrant. So he'd need to get in Staryu again to actually have any chance at breaking this thing at this point, because Flabebe probably won't, Scraggy definitely won't, Honedge definitely won't, Cubone definitely won't, and I forget his 6th Mon, but it definitely won't. So, oh yeah, Tyrant. So yeah, he would need to get Staryu in at this point, but I'm only trying to bait in Staryu even more, because I'm getting up rocks now. It's already a Life Orb variant, so it's taking more damage. If I can get it to switch in, and again, only better for me, because it would switch in on me going for an Earthquake, so it's only going to take even more damage. However, he seems very adamant about just sacking his Tyrant here, which is fine, because, you know, Godbreak can just Earthquake this thing and put it out of its misery. Put it back to the Stone Age, if you will. So we're going to Earthquake, of course, and he is going to have lost his Tyrant. That's a little relieving for me, because it allows little Borb to just sweep a little easier, because I don't need to worry about like a Scarf potentially on that, because that could have been a little scary. He does bring in Fidget here, of course, and I decide that I kind of want to keep a Godbray around, because it seems very physically offensive this week. So I'm going to Sticky Boy, because I figure the Sticky Boy can just maybe live a hit, who knows, and I can maybe get him to pop my berry and outspeed him next turn and try and kill him off. Or even just go for webs, because he doesn't have the Snivy here to deter. So I do luckily get my berry off, which is very, very nice for me, because now I'm going to be able to outspeed him as well with my +2 speed. So he is going to withdraw, of course. That's only better for us. I thought he was honestly just going to try and kill me off. So it's very, very fine that he brings in Lightbringer here, as I'm actually a special variant this week. And Dazzling Gleam, as you'll see here, it does a fair amount of damage for a non-super effective, well, for a not very effective hit. So he probably predicted me, of course, being able to go for the Flamethrower, which is probably why he's bringing in Flabebe now, which was very smart on my opponent's part. Of course, it is still a Flabebe, and it doesn't have great stats, so it's still going to take a fair amount of damage for a non-stab hit. So first Spit Mon and Little Cup, I'll take it. That wasn't bad damage. And I figured I can get up a Sticky Webs here guaranteed, because Flabebe does not get defog, which means that his only hazard removal this week is going to be the Staryu, which is very, very nice for me, because Staryu is now -1 speed, and since it is Life Orb, I know in fact I will outspeed it with most of my team, which means that Staryu is in for a world of hurt, because it does not take hits very well from anything on my team. So I decided here I'm just going to go for Dazzling Gleam. I figured I can sack at this point. There's no real reason to keep this thing alive, I guess, because I essentially just, if I switch it out, I would be losing any chance to sweep with this thing. So I stay in and I just get as much damage off as possible, so it is as low as possible when I do bring in my appropriate counters. So I decide here that because I did sack, I'm pretty free to bring in Wong, and I figured he's definitely going to switch out because I brought in Wong in this thing, which makes me believe he's probably just going to expect me to have Poison Jab. So I go for the sub here. I figured that worst comes to worst, he stays in and goes for Moonblast, which he does. So that was the worst possible case scenario, but I didn't lose much HP, and I'm still going to gain some back with leftovers. And not only that, but I know that he is in fact going to just sack this thing off, probably predicting that, you know, maybe I'm going to be sub bulk up, or maybe that I was going to over predict and go for a move that would hit something else. So perfectly fine with that, since I do know he's going to stay in, and I'm just going to go for Poison Jab and bop the Flabebe, because unless if I got an absolute mineral and he was absolute max defense, max HP, bold nature or something, I was guaranteed to OHKO. And even then he would live on like 1 HP, and I would have just called hacks. But luckily though we do kill, and he is now going to be bringing in Lightbringer, his Hone Edge. And with Rocks up, he is in range to potentially die to a Fire Punch, depending on his spread, which is very nice for me, in fact, because I'm able to get off some nice damage with Fire Punch. However, he is going to get off a Shadow Sneak first, and he's going to do a fair amount of damage with that. And my Fire Punch, I believe, ends up allowing him to live on just a little bit of HP. So that is unfortunate. It was a roll to kill after all, though, so I'm not overly mad. I think it was like 45 to 55 if he was max defense, or even just max HP, I'm fairly certain. It has a very, very nice defense stat. So he is going to kill us off here with Shadow Sneak, sadly, which is very unfortunate, but I don't overly need Meditite this game. It's sort of just here if I need it. Next up, though, I'm going to bring in Little Borb, because I figured that he's in range to the point where I could just kill with Aerial Ace, and this was his switch in this entire run. And Tyrant died. This is now dead as well, which means that Little Borb is just going to have a field day, because even Cubone is going to be potentially 2 KO depending on his spread. So he was bringing the Cubone, of course. I figured that I want to try and scout this thing's item a little more, maybe see what it has, because even though he can't kill me with 1 hit, he could, if he's really defensive, potentially take 2 Aerial Aces, but he does not take 2 returns, which is very nice. So I go into Godbreak here. I figured I can go for Toxic. I can just Earthquake this thing. And he actually brings out the really cute tech in Ice Beam. You know, very, very nice tech. Able to get himself around Godbray, which actually is a little scary, not gonna lie, because he should outspeed me as well if I'm not mistaken. So luckily for me though, he does switch out here. Surprisingly, I didn't get why he switched out, but he does switch out into his Scraggy here, which, I mean, that's fine by me, because I'm able to just take advantage of this perfectly well and just go for Toxic. And now he is going to be taking some nice consistent chip damage with the Scraggy, and I can just bring in my appropriate counter when he wants to kill me off. If he's trying to set up on me, he's only going to whittle himself down more to Toxic, and I can bring in Torchic and Protect, so that's always very nice. I decided here I'm going to go for the Rest, because I figured that he is going to maybe just try and set up and then try and kill me off, while he also does give me defense boost, which is again very nice just in terms of whittling down his team overall. So he's of course going to go for the Dragon Dance here. It's really his only play, to be honest. And the webs helped a lot because it ensured that he does need to set up to even have any chance of outspeeding me. He will need to get to +3 to outspeed my Scarf Rufflet. So that is very nice for me, because it just means that Rufflet is going to have an easier time sweeping, and also because even if he's like some sort of really weird berry tech, I know for a fact that there's no possible way he's going to live to hit when he gets brought down to below half because of toxic damage. And unless he gets to +3, he's not going to outspeed me either, which is again very nice. So he is +2 now, and he is deciding he's just going to try and kill me off, which is perfectly fine, because even though he gets the crit, I'm not overly worried, because Toxic is going to get a nice chunk of damage off on him. So Godbreak did his job. He fucked with my opponent's physical mons until they're unusable now, which is very nice for me. And also I found out these Life Orbs, so again, there's like no risk to bringing in a little Borb here, because there's no good switch-ins at this point. There's no mon that really wants to switch into Little Borb, because Little Borb is a monster. So I'm just going to go for Aerial Ace here, and I'm going to kill off Little Pump. All he has left at this point is the Staryu and the Cubone, if I'm not mistaken. And because I have the webs up, both of those are going to get beaten by Torchic. So I figured at this point, it is perfectly fine to me to just sack a little Borb. I can bring in Torchic late game, potentially clean up. So I decide here, I'm just going to stay in and click Air Release. Because worst comes to worst, he kills me off. There's no downside to getting in Torchic for free. Because I can always just go for an HP Grass, kill this thing off, and then just go for another HP Grass and kill off the Staryu. However, he doesn't seem to actually have any physical moves. He seems to be a pure special Cubone, which is very, very nice for me. Because I'm able to actually kill off the Cubone now. Which means that I am only going to have more HP left for the Torchic, which is fine. It's a little bit scary though, I guess, in terms of depending on... Actually, no, never mind. It really isn't scary. I was going to say depending on his item is Staryu, but I forgot he's Life Orb. We revealed that turn 1. So it could have been scary if he was a Scarf Staryu, because now I wouldn't have been able to get up any speed boosts, and Staryu could have actually swept. But of course he is Life Orb, and not only that, but he's also below half. And I'm going to do a nice amount of damage with the Scarf Hustle from Little Borb. So of course, Little Borb, being as broken and adorable as it is, won us our game this week versus Xilicks. So we're now 2-1 in the Baby League. Next week, we're going to take on Max Rapture, coach of the Tasmanian Toxicroaks. If you guys did enjoy, leave a like down below. Comment if you think we're going to make playoffs, because we actually have a chance at playoffs, to be honest, in a league. Shocking, I know, knowing all of our other league records right now are at like 1 win. But yeah, we might potentially actually make playoffs here. We're 2-1. We're one of the higher teams right now. I think we're like 3rd or 2nd. I haven't checked standings in a while. I'll update standings in the week 4 vid next week when we take on Max. So yeah, I'll see you guys then. Peace out.